Hey, Ben, for you, I do have one thing to tell you. It
Yeah.
is today is the birthday of a very famous person, actually, one of the most interesting characters I've ever learned about. His name is Harlan Sanders. He's Colonel Sanders from Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I know
Oh.
that, chicken's such a healthy food that I know you're a big KFC backer because
I love that stuff. Oh, well, Colonel Sanders. That's
yeah, yeah,
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong
yeah,
with that.
yeah. He was a crazy guy. There's a lot of good and a lot of bad, but the one thing he was tenacious. There was no way you were going to stop him. He didn't start in the KFC until he was 65. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's an
never too
amazing
late. That tells you
story.
it's never too late. It really is. And they're putting, I don't know, no actor's been picked yet, but they're putting together based on his daughter's book. They're putting together a movie on him, but he was in all
Huh.
kinds. He wanted to be a lawyer, but he couldn't do that because he got into a brawl in the courtroom. He was in a duel with a guy. The guy killed one of the guys he was with, and he ended up wounding the other guy. I mean, the guy was not afraid of a scrap. That's for sure.
Interesting. That's
Yeah,
really interesting. Yeah, I think that'd be a fascinating person to do a movie on. So I hope they get that done. I
yeah.
can't wait to see that.
Me
Um,
too. Me too. All right, you two health nuts. What do you got for us this week?
well, I want Jeremiah. What were you going to talk about?
I was going to try to wing it. I didn't have anything planned. So
Okay, well let me go into my topic first, really quick, because I want to pimp something here on the Jack Hinkey show. So my topic for this week was talking about the softer side of exercise. So I feel like, lots of times when people talk to Jeremiah and I, they're always looking for like, hey, what is the fastest way I can lose body fat? Or how do I get my muscles bigger quickly? Or how do I get my legs strong enough to, get my balance better or be able to go upstairs better? And, so a lot of like hard driving kind of things, things that are intense. So I wanted to just explore the softer side of exercise and being softer and kinder to our bodies as well, because I feel like, I don't know how you feel, Jack, but I feel like everybody right now is just under a lot of stress, between, kids, no matter what stage your kids are at, if they're going to college or they're young, it's stressful. Everyone has work constraints. They have the spouses to deal with, or boyfriends and girlfriends. And, then they're throwing heaping exercise on top of all that stress, and that's hard. And so, I wanted to kind of brainstorm some ways that people could incorporate some things in to kind of reduce the level of stress, and Jeremiah, I know, you and I have been talking about that a lot too. And the reason I bring this up is because personally in my own life, I have really had, during COVID, it was a very stressful period owning the gym. Our industry was really hard hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably one of the more stressful periods in my life. And I met somebody during that time frame that really helped me come to a new relationship with stress and how I integrate with the world. His name is Bryant Francesco, and Jeremiah has met him. So he is basically like a straight up yoga guru. So he is from India. He grew up there till he moved here to the United States when he was in his late 20s. And he owns a yoga studio on the other end of town. So I actually drive all the way over there, even though we have yoga here at Form Fitness.
Yep.
Because what I get from him is something beyond just, increasing my flexibility or working on my balance, but he talks a lot about incorporating, getting your nervous system back into balance. And that's something that I think that a lot of us could really use here in Ozaukee County and throughout the entire United States, is trying to get more of a sense of balance happening. He talks about that a lot. So my one piece of exciting news, Jack, and I normally don't pimp anything on your show, but I have convinced, after begging Bryant for about 6 months now, to come to Foreman Fitness Grafton and teach a 7-week yoga experience.
Wow.
And, I am super, super excited that he's agreed to do this. He's taking out a lot of his time to come over and do this for us. But it's for individuals that are either beginners to people who practice yoga a little bit. I don't think it matters where your level is on the yoga spectrum. You will get something out of being a part of this session with Bryant. So it's on Monday nights. We only have 30 spots. And if this tells you anything, we had a staff Bryant came to train our staff and how to incorporate yoga into our personal training experiences, like team training and small group. 10 staff members have signed up for his thing already. So like 10 of our spots are already full, and I haven't even put it out to our membership yet or anything, but it's going to start on September 26th. It's going to be Monday nights for 7 consecutive Mondays, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. The cost of the course is $145. So it's, $10 a class or whatever it is. It's not very expensive. But I just feel compelled to let your audience know that if you have ever felt like you need to bring your stress levels down a little bit, if you've ever been curious about yoga, this is going to be an outstanding experience to get involved. So that's my spiel.
All right. Well, that's a good one. I'm a big yoga guy. I love yoga. I pre-pandemic, I went to a studio for regular classes. And then since then, I know the studio is back open, but right before the pandemic, my daughter, Margot, and I went out to visit my son in San Diego. And when we were there, he works for Lululemon, and the yoga is a big part of what how they started.
Yep.
And he took us to one of their yoga ambassador, a Lululemon ambassador, a yoga teacher, and she was phenomenal. And she started, once the pandemic hit, she started her studio had to close, but she reemerged with a video course. So
that's cool.
Yeah, even though so I haven't seen her in person in 2.5 years, I still regularly do her. I subscribe and do her yoga. I do it at home. It's not the same as going to a yoga place, because just as and Jeremiah does this with regular exercise too. Like you'll be doing something and then all of a sudden he'll walk up to you and go, "Oh, just put your elbow in here." And then, this morning, Mary Jo, we were doing skull crushers, and I was going like this, and she goes, "Up, get back to your shirt tag, where your shirt tag is." And I was like, oh, it was so much harder. But you get so much more out of it when you actually do it right. So that's great that you're doing that. And you have, this is not going to affect the other yoga classes you have going on at the gym, Ben? Is that?
We did already have a yoga class Monday nights at 6:30. So that is going to be shifted to Tuesday nights. So we're shifting the classes a little bit. And in fact, actually, several of our yoga instructors have signed up to go to Bryant's Bryant's course. Some of them have done some things with him in the past, where he does a lot of yoga teacher trainings, things of that nature. So it won't really affect it. We'll just have more yoga and then additional this specialty experience with him. I'm hoping we can get him to, come back time and time again.
Right. Well, that's great that, some people are intimidated by another master coming in and doing that. It's great that they aren't. They know they can learn. You can never stop learning, and you can always keep getting better.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that statement. And and the stuff that alignment, the postures, or the this or the that, there's a lot more to it. I found it to be extremely beneficial, and it's changed the way that I am relating to the outside world myself. As far as coming from a calmer, different space than I used to, and that feels really good, as far as my relationships, my how I run my business, my family life, all of those things have really been affected, and it's just cool, that one time a week with this guy could do that, it's just neat.
And I heard some of your trainers talking about the intro course that he did, and people who are really in shape were saying, and this is a big fallacy about yoga. People think it's just a stretching thing. Stretching is a huge part of it. However, it is a strength building course like you would not believe. Do with your body weight. If you try a class once, if you don't think so. But Michael was saying that he was like the demonstration guy. He said he was so sore the next day because he was using those muscles.
Funny? Yeah, Michael's probably the most in shape trainer we have on staff. He's CrossFit guy, super in shape, looks like a Greek, Adonis, and he wasn't the only one. Like 3 or 4 of the other trainers too are like, I was so sore, the next day. Right. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, Brian didn't hardly do anything with you.
Yes. It's just that it's a different kind of working your muscles. It's more of your muscles are under almost constant pressure, tension. That's a good word. Tension. It's not unhealthy. It's just different. And it's just a different way of how you even if you work out all the time and you're in shape, there's a different kind of yoga shape, I would say.
Totally. And what I love about what Bryant teaches, he is a Iyengar yoga practitioner. So he actually, back in India, his teacher was Iyengar, BKS Iyengar, was the guy that taught Bryant, so the great master that formed this philosophy of yoga. And the yoga that they teach is extremely alignment and posture based, which from my background as a physical therapist, that means a lot. Because many times when I do like a vinyasa flow yoga, they're going into all these weird postures. Sometimes they're not activating muscles when they're doing it. It's just, there's some benefit to that and everything, but I just feel like the benefit is so much better when you're really focusing on properly aligning the body when you put the body under tension, which is what he does, which is pretty intense to feel it in a good way.
Yeah.
And that's why I think some of the trainers were so sore, is because maybe when they're doing the form on some of the exercises, they're not getting themselves exactly into good alignment. They're not pulling those shoulder blades down and back. They're not rotating that pelvis into spine neutral. They're not, straightening the knee and keeping the kneecap aligned when necessary. It's just very interesting to me. But that's why I brought him in to train our staff as well, to kind of add some of those kind of concepts in and kind of reinforce some of that. But I've just never seen a yoga instructor do it before. So it's been interesting to me.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to switch subjects to something you brought up last week, because I'm curious about it. Have you gotten the dirt? Have you done that?
Yeah. So the first shipment of dirt came in.
Okay. And how's it? What's the response? Has people know about it yet?
It just came in yesterday. I'm going to do a full email spread on the dirt. In addition to the fact that my real thing is that dirt has this product that acts as a coffee creamer that actually is extremely healthy. And I'm going to try as an experiment to get my wife Gretchen to switch off of her disgusting international whatever the heck creamer crap she puts in her coffee. She calls it like her one indulgence, and she's got all this crap in her coffee. Right? First thing in the morning, all the sugar, everything going into her system. So my experiment is going to be, can I get Gretchen to switch? So that'll be fascinating to see what happens, because she's agreed to try it.
Okay.
So the gist of the email is going to be what happens with this experiment that we're doing, whether Gretchen has been able to switch over, because I think a lot of people have that problem where they'll put a bunch of junk in their coffee and they really don't want to, but they've gotten this habit. But is there something we can switch to? So I'll keep you updated on that. I think we're going to probably do the experiment next week.
Okay. Well, good. Yeah. I don't put anything disgusting in mine. I just put whipped cream in it. So,
although I don't know if the whipped cream might be better than international coffee.
Yeah. Oh, well, and it's for a tablespoon, it's 15 calories. And I know there's some sugar in it, but that's not so.
Yeah, no, Gretchen's is way higher than that. Yeah. So, you might be better off with the real whipping cream,
But I'm curious. So I'll be there tomorrow. I'm going to check out the dirt.
Yeah,
So,
we haven't put it out yet.
Okay.
We're gonna put a whole display out with it, because I went pretty big with it, because I really think it's gonna be something that's gonna resonate with people. So probably by next week sometime we'll have the whole display out.
Okay. All right. And is the dirt, to clarify, it's not coffee, it's something you add to coffee, correct?
Something you add to the coffee, yeah. And dirt has two different products. They have a spice product that that's what I use. You just shake it right into your coffee and you blend it in a little bit, and I actually crave it. It's delicious.
Okay.
But they also have a coconut-based product that acts as a creamer / dirt. That's what I'm going to try to shift Gretchen to. So we'll see how we do.
All right. Well, if that's your one indulgence, you might not be worth, the marriage is important to keep together, Ben. So watch it. Let her have the creamer, for God's sakes.
Totally. Yes. No, I totally agree with that. I don't know if I'm going to be successful, Jack. I'm hopeful that this will be a success, but I could crash and burn with this experiment, and we could go down in blazes, but we'll see what happens.
All right, good. Well, you missed all kinds of interest. It wasn't a big food week for national days. You did miss National Salami Day. I know you're a big salami guy.
Well, salami is delicious. I mean, that does at least, I like that, I used to back in the day, I used to like the sliced salamis on my pizza, and all that good stuff, if you are going to eat a, disgusting meat like product, like salami is probably a better one than a hot dog, that's for sure.
If you're gonna eat a disgusting meat product. Oh, you're a beauty. I have one last question for you. You're talking about the softer side. You're bouncing all over. Are you on a ball right now?
No, my chair bounces.
Oh, your chair. I was like,
rotate around, and
I thought you were going to be on one of those big med balls or something.
No. Just a weird bouncy chair.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for jumping on. We appreciate you. You're always
Where's Bulldog today?
Bulldog is chained to the front desk at the library. They had some people calling sick today. They didn't eat their salami, so they got a little rundown.
They didn't upregulate their immune system with some salami.
Yes. So if you have any shots to take at Bulldog, now's the time because he can't respond. Although he's
exactly. I'm going to try to get in touch with him this week about the exciting announcement. So hopefully maybe next week we can broadcast that out to the.
Yep, that's our goal, is to announce it next week, because it's a good time. September is a good time to start. It's like the better New Year. It's rather than New Year's Eve.
Totally. Get a jump on New Year's.
Yeah.
And if any of your listeners want to take the class with Bryant, you don't have to be a member of Form of Fitness. You can come as a community member. You just need to message us here at the club, and we'll send you the link to register.
Okay.
So
cool. All right. Is the link on the website if we go to the website?
It's not, but if you fill out a contact us form, or contact us, if you just say, hey, I'm interested in the yoga class Ben talked about on the radio show, we'll send them the link right away.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm interested. We'll see if I'll talk to Margot, see what we can do. Yeah. She does yoga too. She does yoga with me. So she's a convert as well. Yeah. My son got us going years ago, and I'm so glad.
It's a great form of exercise. 14,000 years it's been going strong. I can't say something good has to have been going on in that, right? So
it's just a fad.
It's just a fad. It'll pass.
If something doesn't last 15,000, after 15,000 years, we'll give it some serious.
Another couple millennia, it'll be gone.
All right, cool. Well, thanks. That is exciting. I am stoked about that, and people should be as well. It's a great thing, and especially if it's all levels too, because you don't have to be a yogi to go into the class, which is great. So.
Nope. So, all right. Well, have a wonderful weekend.
You too. All right. Sorry we don't have any disgusting visuals for you this week, but we'll work on it for next week.
Could you please up your game next week?
Thanks, Ben.
Okay. Bye.
Take care.